Welcome to GamesBeat Rewind. This week we'll be going over the best games of the year through a variety of categories. Today, it's the non-awards. This is GamesBeat's chance to talk about the games and the things that happened that don't necessarily fit into other categories. Joining us today is myself, Jeffrey Grubb, GamesBeat Managing Editor, Jason Wilson, GamesBeat's Reviews Editor, Mike Minotti, GamesBeat Writer and Reporter, Stephanie Chan, and GamesBeat's PC Gaming Guest Post Editor, Rowan Kaiser. We're going to be with you all week, so be sure to check in every day for a new podcast and check GamesBeat.com for write-ups and more looking back at 2017. Hey you, yeah, you, the one trying to make a video game. I've got someone here that can help you, and that someone is Intel, which is not a someone, it's a company. But this company, they are going to help you as if they were a somebody and a someone and also a something. Check out software.intel.com/gamedev to find out how Intel is making sure all the innovation in gaming continues to happen on the PC as part of the Intel Game Dev program. Again, that URL is software.intel.com/gamedev. Sign up and start something new.
The best and most and weirdest in retrospect Revamp was Heroes of the Storm doing their Heroes 2.0 thing.
Yeah.
From April, March, really in the spring at some point. Basically, they went to a loot box system and everyone loved it. They had your characters gain levels faster. You get loot boxes for that. The loot boxes have the skins that you used to only be able to get by money. And this did not seem to cause any kind of significant controversy. Like, initially, there was a slight one where people who had been playing for a long time weren't going to be quite as rewarded as people who were new. So Blizzard added more, initial, you've been playing a while, loot boxes, and everyone got to be showered with gifts when they logged in that first time, which was pretty neat, and I think it ended up being not controversial for two key reasons. The first is that Heroes of the Storm's cosmetic stuff those things were pretty expensive. They were usually like $10 and $5 on sale, and then the opportunity to get that for free when you could have just blown like $60 on something in a month. That was pretty nice. The second big thing is that every time you get a loot box in Heroes of the Storm, you have the opportunity to re-roll it for in-game currency that you basically just earn by playing. And so when you have that feeling of agency over what's in those things, you can say, this one totally sucked and was a waste of my time. Let's see if it's a little less of a waste of my time when I spend 250 gold. And that tends to make it work really nicely. I'm not sure exactly why. That might actually make it worse for gambling.
Right.
But it's not something I have a problem with in the way that I have a problem with most other loot box games.
I think Rocket League does a lot of similar stuff, which is why, even though I haven't played Rocket League a ton since, even since the Switch version came out, not since last year, mostly. I believe they use keys, which is a thing that people hate. So you get the loot box, and you own the loot box, but to unlock it, you have to buy the key, which is, you could tell it's total loss aversion. You hate the idea of owning something that you can't actually have. It's a total psychiatric trick. But people mostly don't complain about the loot box system in Rocket League, I think, because they give you these options to say, oh, if you get enough of the crap you don't like on this one tier, you could trade it in and go up to the next tier and get something from there. And I think it gives people a sense of they are always building towards the thing they want, even when they are getting that crap. I think that's what helps.
I think the other thing that helps for Rocket League too is I've jumped into it and played it a little bit more since it came out on Switch, is that you don't even have to deal with that. You just play the game as it is and it's fine.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. But I mean, Rowan pointed this out. There is still something there where it's even when it's cosmetic, people are getting addicted to it, at least as far as we know. I think, just real quick on that point, I think I wouldn't be surprised if we find out in 10, 15 years that publishers have all of the information and all the data they need to know that this is a seriously destructive addiction that a lot of people have. we got to get to a point where it's like that information is either made public, they're forced to make that information public, or we get enough independent verification so we can figure out how to approach this in a realistic way.
Is it bad if I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for people who are like throwing their money away on cosmetic loot boxes?
Yeah, it's bad, Mike. You're a bad person.
Yeah, because some people could have a compulsion disorder or some other part of their makeup that can't, or they know it's a problem, but they can't stop because of it.
I think the point...
This happened to me with Overwatch, which I had to give up, because Overwatch does something that's really nasty, which has it all their good stuff time-gated. So if you don't play for the 3 weeks of the event, you don't get the skin for your favorite character that you absolutely feel like you must have. So I would be... it wasn't a huge amount, and I was able to stop, but I would be spending like $20 to try to get skins when I would only play like 10, 13 matches during the event, which I was like, why am I doing this? Because I actually just want to get this shiny thing for a game that I might want to play more in the future. Why not just stop playing the game and then see how I feel when I actually do want to play it? But yeah, there are various mechanisms that they use, and for me, the nastiest one is time delays or time gates, or however you want to say it. And I think that a lot of this is not necessarily secret. Like, I'm sure you could go to a list of GDC talks or whatever and find how to hook and keep your whales for all kinds of mobile games, and there's no reason that those exact psychological tricks wouldn't be something that major publishers would know about.
Oh yeah,
they know they want to find the people who are going to spend $10,000, and whether you're actually doing that because you think that those people really love your game, or because those people just have a lot of money and no willpower, is I'm not going to trust the major publishers with that.
Right.
Making that sort of ethical decision.
I think the disconnect between where Rowan's at and where Mike's at, though, is that we just don't have enough of the, I guess you would call them human interest stories, but I mean, the data that says this actually is happening on a level that is above people getting frustrated and annoyed that they're spending a little bit more money than they wish they were on a game. It does happen. There are people who have spoken about this. I just want to know if it's happening on like a societal level, like where it's like this is a thing that is destroying families. It's something that people are dealing with in the shadows because they're ashamed and they're not coming out, and that's why you don't hear about it. Or if it really is just like, if I wonder if it is possible that it's like, no, most people are like you, Rowan, or like me. I stopped playing Hearthstone once I saw like, oh, this treadmill goes on forever. This is an endless treadmill. Yeah. I have to get out now. And I'm like, I still enjoyed the time I spent with it. I did. I'm sure I spent like more than $200, maybe $300 on it. Okay, I had a good time with it. They did their tricks and it got me. I don't know if I necessarily resent that. Are most people like me, or is almost everyone like us, or is it like 10% that can't control themselves and are destroying their lives in a really serious way? I'm not going to say that's not happening. I really don't know, and I don't know. That would be the thing we have to figure out, and I think that's where we kind of go from here on that specific topic.
Jason, is your family destroyed by Hearthstone?
No, but
sure.
I buy packs with the expansion. That's it. Now, I wouldn't say my family isn't destroyed, but my wife is very disgruntled with the way that I buy ships for X-Wing.
Exactly. Yeah. I wonder if that's what it comes to for most of these things. She wishes I didn't buy as many, but at the same time, I really enjoy the game, and it's going to be something that I'll be playing with my kids for years. However, I spent a lot of money on those ships over the years.